Fantasy fanfiction. Through the chat group, start fighting to break the 3-year agreement. Chapter 21. After Nolan Shui left, Suhan could finally practice with peace of mind. Half a month will be used to restore the 9-star Mysterious Master's cultivation, and then, we can hit the realm of the Mysterious Master. Suhan was planning in his mind, with a trace of expectation on his face. Xuanxi is a watershed that separates ordinary people from the strong. Even if your qualifications are mediocre, you can reach the realm of Zanqi and Zanji in decades if you are willing to work hard. But Zan Master cannot break through with hard work, it requires talent and resources. 99% of the people in the Kangchong world will find it difficult to break through the Zan Master in their lifetime. This level is enough to form a family or force and dominate a small city. Once Suhan breaks through to the realm of Zan Master, his combat power will have a qualitative breakthrough. With sword intent, he will be confident to kill even the great Zan Master with his sword. At the great Mystic Master level, looking at the entire Holy Code Empire, they are not weak. The heads of the 3 major families in Yuta City are only at this level. For example, Xiao Yan and his father Xiao Cheng are just a great Mystic Master. Ding, group member number 10,087. Gao Cheng joined the chat group. Closing square bracket. Ding, group member number 10,088. Lu Feifei has joined the chat group. Closing square bracket. Ding, group member number 10,089. Wang Xiaoer has joined the chat group. Closing square bracket. Suddenly, 3 system announcements sounded. Is there a new person joining the chat group? Suhan's expression moved slightly, and his consciousness was immersed in the chat group. At this time, the 3 old group members had already bubbled up. Yi Sheng, 5656, a new member has joined the group. Welcome. I wish the new member a long life and a longer life than the southern mountains. Lu Jun, 2323, I wish the newlyweds a long life and a longer life than Nanshan Mountain. Susan, 250, I brought 3 new people into the group at once. Why do I feel like the chat group is recruiting new people faster? Yi Sheng, 5656, when you said that, I suddenly felt so scared. Yi Sheng was no longer calm. His premonition told him that the group mission would be very dangerous and the death rate would be high. Yi Sheng didn't want to die, he still wanted to listen to music in Gulen. Lu Jun, 2323, shivering. Suhan's expression flashed with solemnity. The speed of recruiting people into the chat group has become faster. Does this mean that 10 people will soon be gathered to start the group task? Suhan does not want to participate in group missions for the time being. His strength is still very low at the moment, and he is likely to die suddenly if he encounters danger. For a moment, Suhan felt a sense of urgency in his heart. At this time, after the 3 confused newcomers came to their senses, they finally spoke. Wang Xiaoer, 10,089, Transmigrate chat group. Haha, I knew I was the protagonist of this world. Beauty, power and strength, here I am, Wang Xiaoer. Blue Star, in a rental house, a fat Wang Xiaoer's face was full of excitement. He is a senior otaku who likes to read novels, comics and games. He is often there, so he naturally knows a lot about chat groups. According to the novels he had read, each of the protagonists who joined the chat group reached the pinnacle of life and married by Fumei. Wang Xiaoer thought he was such a protagonist. For a moment, his body trembled with excitement, his 200 kilograms of fat swayed, and the chair creaked under the load. Gao Cheng, 10,087, things like chat groups actually exist. It seems like my chance to change my fate has come. Blue Star, Yi Lok. Gao Cheng held the AK-47 in his hand, his eyes flashed with a glimmer of light, hiding a hint of unnoticeable ecstasy. He is a mercenary. He committed a crime in China 3 years ago and fled abroad to avoid being caught by the police. He is brave and ruthless and has no other skills, so he chose to become a mercenary. Unexpectedly, he really made a name for himself. After a few years, he was already the boss of a mercenary team of more than 10 people. Nowadays, the emergence of the chat group makes Gao Cheng even more ecstatic. If he can obtain the power of Transcendent, then it is not too much for him to become the king of Blue Star, right? Gao Cheng's ambitions expanded rapidly. The last newcomer is a girl, dressed in Lolita, with delicate appearance and fair skin. Apart from being a little short and a little flat, she is a very supreme grade loli. At this moment, Lu Feifei was a little confused. When she was playing a game, a pop-up advertisement popped up. She accidentally clicked on it and joined a transmigrate chat group. This group appeared directly in her mind and she could type it with her mind. Apparently, she triggered the mysterious event. Lu Feifei 10,088. Everyone, can you explain to me? What does this group do? Susan 250. This group is a transmigrator chat group. You can check the group announcement for specific information. I have written the general situation above. Susan has a gentle personality. In the past, when new people joined the group, she often took the initiative to serve as a guide for the new people. However, I noticed that the chat group is attracting new people at an accelerated rate, and soon there may be 10 people, after starting the group task. Susan was not in the mood to guide the newcomers, and her premonition told her that the group mission would be very dangerous. Yi Sheng, Lu Jun, Su Han and Yu Yang, who are all people who have mastered the power of transcendent, but she is completely just an ordinary person. Goldfinger is not very powerful either. It is more of an auxiliary function and can only weaken the enemy's power by 1/10. If people died in group tasks, Susan felt that as an ordinary person, she should be the first to rush into the street, which made her feel heavy. Susan was not in the mood to guide the newcomers, and Su Han and others were even less interested. After all, everyone knows that chat groups are notorious for their urinary nature, and their mortality rate is astonishing. There is a high probability that these three newcomers will all die suddenly and fall into boxes. It's useless no matter how much you guide them. It's better to wait. If a newcomer fails to land, Su Han and others will come forward to help the newcomer. The three newcomers followed Susan's suggestion and went to see the group announcement. Then, their moods fell from heaven to hell in an instant. Maid, how can this chat group be an opportunity? It's clearly a huge pit. Gao Cheng's face turned dark. There were more than 10,000 members in the group, but only 5 survived and the rest died. Such a high mortality rate was countless times more dangerous than when he was a mercenary in Yilak. In addition, his plan to gain transcendent power from the chat group and become the king of Blue Star was also shattered. The chat group announcement said that he would be allowed to transmigrate to another world. Wang Xiaoer 10,089. The protagonists in the novel all easily reach the top of their lives and marry by Fumei. Why is it so dangerous for me? The mortality rate of the chat group is simply too high. Quote. Wang Xiaoer's body, which weighed more than 200 kilograms, was trembling. This time he was not excited, but frightened. With such a high mortality rate, why would you call it a transmigrator chat group? Why not rename it the Transmigrator Death Group? At this moment, Wang Xiaoer wanted to quit the group. Wouldn't it be okay if he no longer became the protagonist? Unfortunately, the group announcement made it very clear that once you join the group, you cannot exit, which made his mentality even more broken. Yi Sheng 5656. Maybe it's because you are not the protagonist. Wang Xiaoer 10,089. Lu Jun 2323. Yi Sheng, you are so unkind, how can you stab someone in the heart? Newcomers, don't be afraid. Although you are not the protagonist, you still have a 1 in 10,000 chance of surviving. Quote. Wang Xiaoer, your kid is even more outrageous than him. Are you as comforting as you? Lu Feifei 10,088. What should I do if I don't want to die? Instead of worrying here, it's better to prepare quickly. You will be transmigrating in 10 minutes. Su Han reminded kindly. Lu Feifei 10,088. Thanks for the reminder, boss, I'm going to prepare transmigrate supplies. Now that transmigrate is inevitable, Lu Feifei can only accept the reality and find a way to survive in the chat group. The weak little loli had no choice but to strengthen herself under the persecution of the chat group. Wang Xiaoer 10,089. Boss, can I ask what world you have all transmigrated to? Different worlds have different emphasis on what to bring. For example, in the zombie world, try to bring as much food and water as you can. In the ancient world, it was absolutely right to bring more books, such as the 4 essential sacred books for transmigrators. Wang Xiaoer has read so many novels, and still knows some common sense about transmigrate. If you want to be fully prepared, it is best to know in advance what type of world you want to transmigrate. If you want to know in advance what type of world you want to transmigrate, the fastest and best way is to ask the senior transmigrators in the group what world they have transmigrated to. I have to say that although Wang Xiaoer is a fat man, he is still a bit quick-witted. Gao Cheng and Lu Feifei were about to prepare transmigrate supplies, but they stopped immediately after hearing Wang Xiaoer's speech. They all realized that if they could get some information about transmigrate from the senior transmigrator, it would be of great help to them. Yi Sheng, 5656. The newcomer is very smart. He actually thought of asking this question. I didn't even think of it when I was transmigrating. It's okay to tell you that the world I transmigrate is a martial arts world. Quote. Martial arts world. Wang Xiaoer and the other three have a headache. This world is a transcendent world, with martial arts, and all those martial arts masters are no different from supermen. If you transmigrate into this type of world, there seems to be nothing to prepare for. Lu Jun, 2323. Hey, what I am transmigrating is the sword and magic world. If you transmigrate to this type of world, your preparations are basically useless. Whether you can survive or not depends on luck. Quote. World of swords and sorcery. The three of them had even more headaches. This was more dangerous than the world of martial arts. It's scary for a magician or something like that to be able to wipe out an entire city with a single forbidden spell. Susan, 250. Mine is a purely historical world without any transcendent power. If possible, you'd better prepare some money. Wang Xiaoer, 10,089. Finally, there is a world that ordinary people can go to, so go and prepare money. There is a gold and silver jewelry store 100 meters away from where Wang Xiaoer lives. Purely historical world. Gao Cheng's eyes lit up. If he could transmigrate into this type of world, he believed that he would definitely survive, and maybe even become an emperor. After all, he has an AK-47. In the era of cold weapons, this thing was a transcendent level killer weapon. As long as there were enough bullets, one person could defeat thousands of troops. The historical world. It's not as good as the previous two worlds. Lu Feifei pouted. The ancient world was very unfriendly to girls. People are in the sky. Su Han said concisely. What? The boss actually transmigrated to the sky world. You must be so lucky. When Wang Xiaoer heard this, his fat face showed envy. Transmigrating to the sky world has two major advantages. The first is that you are familiar with the plot, which is equivalent to predicting the future to a certain extent. The second is that the world of the sky is a world of high martial arts, where you can expect to live forever and master various great powers. In addition, there are many transcendent level beauties in the Kangchong world, such as Xiaoling Yun, Mei Dusha and the like, which are very attractive to a fat house like Wang Xiaoer. His mouth watered just thinking about it. Someone is actually able to transmigrate to the sky world. What a piece of shit luck. Gao Cheng narrowed his eyes, his tone was sour, and he felt a trace of jealousy in his heart. The world transmigrated by Yi Sheng and the others is an original world. Exploration is extremely dangerous. You don't understand everything, and you may end up in trouble if you are not careful. The world of the sky is different. Blue Star people who understand the plot will increase their survival probability a lot as long as they are careful. There are still opportunities to obtain various opportunities, soar into the sky, and maybe he can replace Xiao Yan and become profound emperor. Lu Feifei, 10,088. The sky world. Wow, the boss is so lucky, I'm jealous. As a loli who likes to play games, Lu Feifei has read many novels and comics, including the famous novel, Knowing the Sky. It's nothing, it's just a world in the sky. Maybe you can transmigrate to a world better than the sky. For example, if you cover the world with one hand and follow ye heavenly emperor, you are expected to become a great emperor. That is much better than the profound emperor of the heavenly world. Quote. Facing the envy and jealousy of the three people, Su Han said calmly. Yi Sheng, 5656, 666. Brother Su is getting better and better at showing off, and he looks like Brother Tiger. Lu Jun, 2323. Brother Su's situation is too big, and the sky world can no longer accommodate him. Lu Feifei, 10,088. Hey, can the boss be so calm even when he is transmigrating to the sky world? That's the celestial world. As long as you hug Xiao Yan's lap, you can take off directly. You can guarantee Zhan Sheng, and maybe there is still hope of following Xiao Yan. Ascension Great Thousand World. Quote. It's not like her. I don't know what type of world I will transmigrate to. Will I encounter danger after transmigration? Will I die? It's all unknown and scary. Yi Sheng, 5656, hug Xiao Yan's thigh. Are you thinking too much? Brother Su has joined the Tianlin sect and is going against Xiao Yan. Lu Jun, 2323, yes, Brother Su's slogan is, defeat Xiao Yan and prove the profound emperor. Lu Feifei, 10088, huh? Why? Xiao Yan is the protagonist of Kengchong World. You can't win against him, right? Isn't it said that the protagonist has a halo of luck? Quote. Lu Feifei was a little puzzled. Transmigrating the world of the sky, hugging Xiao Yan's lap is the best and safest choice. Why should she go against Xiao Yan? Yi Sheng, 5656, the sparrow knows the ambition of the swan. Newcomer, you don't understand men, let alone Brother Su. Lu Jun, 2323, that's right, a man born in heaven and earth, how can he live in a depressed state for a long time? Well said. Gao Cheng couldn't help but praise him. As a person, you should have the ambition to climb up. Lu Jun's words were very suitable for him. If he transmigrated to the Kengchong world, the first thing he would do would be to kill Xiao Yan, seize elixir, completely replace Xiao Yan, follow his life path to become profound emperor, and stand at the pinnacle of the Kengchong world. Naturally, none of the beauties in the sky world can be left behind. Lu Feifei. She still couldn't understand Su Han's thoughts. Being the protagonist was very tiring and required to experience various dangers, even life and death crises. Rather than working hard as the protagonist, Lu Feifei prefers to win all the way. She usually only plays Yaomei when playing the king. Facing Lu Feifei's confusion, Su Han smiled lightly and had no intention of explaining. Susan, 250, that's enough for you too. If you make random arrangements for Su Han, he will definitely beat you to death when the chat group has a face-to-face function. Yi Sheng, 5656, hey, just kidding. I think you should stop chatting in the group and go prepare supplies quickly. There is not much time left to transmigrate. Su Han said. I almost forgot the most important thing. Thanks for reminding me. Lu Feifei reacted and quickly started to prepare transmigrate supplies. Food and water were necessary. As for weapons, she thought about it and chose to bring a few bottles of anti-wolf spray. She is a girl and has little strength. Anti-wolf spray may be more effective than a knife. Gao Cheng and Wang Xiaoer were reminded by Su Han, and they also remembered that the most important thing at the moment was not to watch the old group members chatting and spanking, but to seize the time to prepare transmigrate supplies to increase their probability of survival. 2 AK-47s, 1 Desert Eagle, and 1 RPG rocket launcher. In addition to preparing basic food and water, Gao Cheng also brought thermal weapons. His profession is that of a mercenary, and these things that are difficult for ordinary people to obtain are easy for him to obtain. The fat man Wang Xiaoer ran out and exchanged all the money he had with silver. Then I brought a bunch of instant noodles, ham sausages, and Happy Fagi water from home. For a fat house, Happy Fat House water can completely replace mineral water. Finally, Wang Xiaoer took a fruit knife from the kitchen. He had never even killed a chicken. Taking the fruit knife was more to build courage than to kill the enemy. 10 minutes passed quickly, and white light enveloped Lu Feifei and the three of them. The next moment, they disappeared into Blue Star and transmigrated to different worlds. Su Han paid close attention silently, wanting to see how the newcomer performed. Ding, group member number 10,087 has died. Please check the death video for the cause of death. Closing square bracket. Ding, group member number 10,089 has died. Please check the death video for the cause of death. Closing square bracket. In less than a minute, 2 chat group notification sounds sounded one after another. Yi Sheng, 5656, 666, 2 newcomers have jumped on the street so quickly, and the chat group is still the same trap. Susan, 250, a moment of silence for the new couple. Lu Feifei, 10,088, are the other 2 people who transmigrated at the same time as me dead? Horrified. The child is scared, save the child. Quote. Lu Feifei had just encouraged herself to be strong, but the death of the two newcomers directly made her face turn pale. Will it be her turn to die next? Don't T do this kind of thing. Lu Jun 2323 Two unlucky guys selected by the chat group, let me see how they died. While everyone was chatting, Suhan had already silently clicked on the death videos of the two newcomers. With enough food, water, and complete thermal weapons and equipment, Gao Cheng was shrouded in white light and transmigrated to another world. Fortunately, he did not land in the air, ocean, or volcano, but landed in a cave. Unfortunately, this cave is a dragon's lair. Gao Cheng's sudden appearance awakened the sleeping dragon. Fool hero, are you coming to attack me again? The giant dragon roared angrily and blew out a breath of dragon breath towards Gao Cheng. Gao Cheng looked horrified, and before he could explain, he was swallowed up by the flames and turned into a pile of ashes. The unlucky guy actually transmigrated directly to the dragon's lair. Suhan sighed slightly. This newcomer's luck was not very good. He fell into a box directly. The second newcomer, Fat Man Wang Shower, transmigrated to the ancient world. This looks like an ancient world, without any transcendent power. However, due to successive years of severe drought, countless farmers have become refugees, and people starve to death every day. Fat Man Wang Shower transmigrate over more than 200 kilograms of fat meat. In the eyes of the hungry refugees, it is a mouth-watering delicacy. Then, countless refugees flocked to Wang Shower. He was so frightened that he screamed and wet his pants and ran away in one direction. But because I was too fat, I was out of breath after just a few steps. The refugees who surrounded Wang Shower swarmed over him, and what happened next was not suitable for children. In short, Wang Xiao's death was tragic, even worse than Gao Cheng's. At least there was no pain when Gao Cheng left, turning into ashes in a second. Lu Jun 2323 The two newcomers died so miserably, I can't bear to see it. Yi Sheng 5656 The chat group is so shitty. Some newcomers died in worse ways in the past. Susan 250 There is still one newcomer left. How is your situation? Lu Feifei 10088 AI was trembling when I saw the way the other two people died. To be honest, my legs were so scared that I can't walk now. The other two newcomers who transmigrated at the same time as her died tragically, and Lu Feifei was really frightened. Susan 250 Newbie, stay strong. You are much luckier than the other two newcomers. At least you didn't land in a box. In order to survive, you should suppress your fear now and observe the situation around you. Quote. Lu Feifei mustered up the courage to look around and found that she seemed to be in a small alley in a modern city. She told the situation in the chat group. Yi Sheng 5656 The newcomer is very lucky. He actually transmigrated into the modern world. This makes him one of the top 100 transmigrators among more than 10,000. There is no life risk. Don't worry about food, drink, housing and transportation, just find a factory that provides food, housing and transportation. The only problem that needs to be solved is the black account problem. Quote. The transmigrator is worn. The advantage is that you don't have to change your body, it is still your own body. The disadvantage is that you have no identity in another world and belong to a black family. Lu Jun 2323 It seems that the new couple is very likely to live a long life. Congratulations. Susan 250 Newcomer, you should quickly extract your Goldfinger. It is your greatest reliance in the other world. Thanks for the reminder, boss. Lu Feifei reacted and quickly thanked Su Han. She learned in the group announcement that each transmigrator could draw their own exclusive Goldfinger. A few seconds later, Lu Feifei got her own exclusive Goldfinger, with a happy and worried expression on her face. Susan 250 Newcomer, what's your Goldfinger? Lu Feifei hesitated for a moment and then said truthfully. My Goldfinger is a point-adding system. As long as you have energy, you can continue to add points to improve your own strength. Yi Sheng 5656 This Goldfinger is good and has great potential. Lu Feifei 10088 However, this Goldfinger can only strengthen my physical body. Yi Sheng 5656 I withdraw my preamble. Adding a little bit can strengthen the physical body. This gold finger is naturally very good for men. But for a pretty girl, it's a bit inappropriate. Girls all love beauty, and no one wants to become King Kong Barbie. Lu Junt 2323 A666, the chat group knows about Goldfinger. A. Susan 250, a beautiful girl turns into a muscular tyrant. Is this the latest cruel punishment? Suhan looked weird, and he felt like laughing when he thought of the scene Susan described. Lu Feifei and her Goldfinger are really not suitable, the contrast is too great. However, strengthening the body does not necessarily lead to becoming a muscular tyrant. It is also possible to become a female martial god, with a terrifying body but still maintaining perfect appearance and figure. Lu Feifei 10088 I don't want to talk about my Goldfinger anymore, I have mixed feelings. Hey guys, can I ask what your Goldfinger is? Quote. Yi Sheng 5656 Of course, Ida not a secret, at least Ida not a secret in the group, everyone knows everyone else's Goldfinger. My Goldfinger is a Krypton Gold system, and Krypton Gold can temporarily enhance understanding and root bone. Quote. Lu Junt 2323 My Goldfinger is a Dragon Knight, which has bonuses in terms of knighting one way and conquering the dragon race. Susan 250 My Goldfinger is the one that weakens the enemy's strength by 10%. Su Han. My Goldfinger is the proficiency system. Lu Feifei 10088 Everyone's Goldfinger is very good. A. Yi Sheng 5656 Your Goldfinger is also good, although it has been transmigrated to the modern world and cannot maximize the effect of Goldfinger. But there is still hope for becoming a Superman like Captain America. Quote. Lu Feifei didn't reply, because a young man suddenly appeared in front of her, with strong muscles and a terrifying breath. It's just an ordinary person who can actually appear out of thin air and tell you where you came from. The young man spoke coldly, with a trace of curiosity and fear deep in his eyes. Lu Feifei's ability to appear out of thin air probably involves profound space power, but she is just an ordinary person. This is very anomaly. I'm afraid, behind Lu Feifei is either the great monster with spatial attributes, or she herself has a secret. Lu Feifei looked at the young man blankly. She was dumbfounded. She had just transmigrated and was discovered by people in this world. If she found out about her transmigration, would she be dragged into slices? The more Lu Feifei thought about it, the more frightened she became, and she hurriedly asked for help in the group. Boys, I've been discovered by people in this world, what should I do now? Yi Sheng 5656 Just discover it when you find it. Isn't this normal? In the modern world, and in cities, there are many people. Isn't it reasonable to meet the indigenous people of the world? Susan 250 Idiot. What the newcomer is talking about is obviously that someone discovered her identity as a transmigrator. Lu Junt 2323 666 Newcomer, you have made history. You are the first person in the chat group to discover your identity as a transmigrator. Maybe they will take you away for study. Has the transmigrator's identity been discovered? I thought this newcomer was lucky enough to be able to transmigrate into modern society. It is true that modern society succeeds and fails. Quote. Su Han's eyes fluctuated, and there was a hint of emotion in his heart. The biggest feature of modern society is that there are cameras everywhere. Lu Feifei appeared out of thin air, and the camera found an abnormality. Someone who noticed this must take this matter very seriously and will investigate to the end. It's difficult for Lu Feifei's transmigrator incident not to be exposed. When Lu Feifei heard this, she was so frightened that her body trembled, and she said quickly. Boss, is there any way you can save me? I will definitely repay you in the future. Lu Junt 2323 We are willing to help you, but now the chat group only has a chat function and the function of sending text red envelopes such as exercises and divine ability. It cannot send physical red envelopes, nor can it be transmigrated to your world. All I can say is that you wish for yourself. Quote. Yi Sheng 5656 I think you can communicate honestly with the person who finds out you are a transmigrator. There is a saying that you should be lenient if you confess, but strict if you resist. Su Han shook his head. The current chat group function is still not perfect enough. When Lu Feifei is in danger, other group members can't help even if they want to. Lu Feifei's mood became increasingly heavy. You're not talking, are you? I have plenty of ways to make you talk. Next to him, the young man saw Lu Feifei's expression changing and she was reluctant to answer his questions. He frowned slightly and reached out to grab her. Don't want. Lu Feifei backed away. But the young man was very fast and grabbed Lu Feifei with one hand and took her away. Lu Feifei wanted to escape, but the young man thought she was too annoying and knocked her unconscious. Yi Sheng, 5656. The newcomer has not replied. It seems that he was brutally murdered. Please offer incense to the newcomer. Susan, 250. The person's profile picture has not turned gray yet. He is obviously still alive. He was probably knocked unconscious and cannot speak in the group. Lu Jun, 2323. A2 newcomers landed in boxes, and the last newcomer transmigrated into modern society. She originally thought she would survive, but someone discovered her identity as a transmigrator, and her life or death is uncertain. Tragic, really tragic. It seems that although the chat group has attracted more people recently, the death rate has not decreased. Although saying this is a bit unkind to newcomers, we have to admit that the high mortality rate of newcomers is good for us. At least, group tasks should not be enabled for a short period of time. Quote. Just because it won't be turned on in a short period of time doesn't mean it won't be turned on forever. We still need to improve our own strength. As long as you are strong enough, you can pass even the most difficult group missions. I'm going to practice. Quote. After Su Han said this, he went offline, stopped paying attention to the chat group, and began to practice wholeheartedly. Ding, the host practices Fuyao technique, and his proficiency is +10. Closing square bracket. Ding, 100 times the critical hit, Fuyao technique proficiency +1000. Closing square bracket. With the assistance of 2 Goldfinger, and consuming a lot of resources. Su Han's cultivation level improved rapidly. Time flies like water, and 3 months pass by in a flash. On this day, Su Han practiced the first volume of Fuyao Ju to the basic accomplishment state. Buzz. The mysterious vortex coming out of Su Han's dantian rotates crazily, absorbing a large amount of the surrounding heaven and earth energy. The vitality of heaven and earth surged into Su Han's body, causing his body to swell and ache. Under the high-speed rotation of the mysterious vortex, these heaven and earth vitality are compressed and transformed from gaseous state into liquid state. This is the process of a mysterious person breaking through a mysterious master. The state of the mysterious energy changes from gaseous to liquid, and the quality of the mysterious energy will be greatly improved. This process lasted for 3 hours, as the gaseous profound energy in the mysterious vortex was transformed into liquid profound energy. The aura exuded by Su Han is getting stronger and stronger. Boom. When all the gaseous profound energy was transformed into liquid profound energy, Su Han's aura suddenly surged and he successfully broke through the mysterious master. A layer of cyan light appeared around him, covering his whole body, as close to his body as clothes. Zan Qi Veil, this is Master Zan's signature skill, it can fully defend oneself. Swords and even poisons cannot break through this veil. This is the difference between a mysterious person and a mysterious master. 10 mystic practitioners will all be beaten easily by one mystical master. One can truly beat 10 of them. It took 2.5 months, but I finally successfully broke through to Master Zan. Su Han put away the mysterious gauze, opened his eyes, took a long breath, and showed a smile on his face. After Su Han broke through Xuanxi, he did not continue to practice in seclusion, but planned to leave the opening Heaven Land sect. 3 months ago, Nolan Shui went to the Shao family to break off the engagement, and the plot in the sky has officially begun. It's almost time to intercept Hu Shaoyan's opportunity. Quote. Su Han secretly said. The chat group is recruiting new people at an accelerated rate. There are currently 6 group members, and it is estimated that 10 people will be gathered soon to enable the group task function. Su Han felt a sense of urgency in his heart. He couldn't wait to grow slowly and must become stronger quickly. Thinking about getting stronger quickly, it is absolutely impossible to develop slowly. The speed is still too slow. It took Su Han 2.5 months to break through from the 9-star Mysterious Master to the Mysterious Master. Wouldn't it take several years to break through the Great Mystic Master? There are also realms such as Xuanling and Profound King above, which will take even longer. The opportunity to intercept Hu Shaoyan is the fastest way to become stronger. In addition, Su Han not only intercepted Hu Shaoyan's opportunity when he went to the Magic Dragon Mountains, but also planned to return to Novice Village. He had just transmigrated to the Sky World, and that village took him in. Uncle Li Yi was a very nice person, and his daughter was also very cute. Now that Su Han is capable, he should repay Uncle Li Yi's kindness. Practice for another 3 months before setting off. Su Han's eyes flashed. He planned to intercept Hu Shaoyan's opportunity, but he had no intention of leaving Opening Heaven Lanzong immediately. First of all, Shaoyan is still in Yuta City, and it will take some time to go to the Demon Dragon Mountains. If you want to cut off the opportunity, how can you do it without the protagonist appearing? The more important reason is that without Tianlin sect, various dangers may arise. Su Han dislikes that his own strength is too poor. He is only a 1-star mystic master and does not know any mystical skills. He only has sword intent. Combined with the sword intent, Su Han is invincible in the realm of mystical masters, and can even fight against a great mystical master. But this is not enough. What Su Han wants is to leapfrog and kill the great mystic master. This is called strength. Therefore, Su Han plans to stay in the Tianlin sect for a few months and try to improve his strength. When Xiao Yan rushes to the Demon Dragon Mountains, it will not be too late for him to cut off Hu. If you want to improve your strength, there are usually 2 ways. The first is to break through to a higher realm. Within a few months, Su Han could not break through the Great Mystic Master, and could only improve to a few small realms. This did not improve the combat power much, so he gave up this plan. Another way is to practice mysterious skills. Under the same realm, practicing mystical skills and not practicing mystical skills are completely 2 levels of combat effectiveness. The latter will be beaten by the former. If both of them have practiced mystical skills, who can win depends on who has practiced the mystical skills at a higher level and has a deeper mastery. High-level mysterious skills often possess combat power that allows people to leapfrog and fight. Having perfected a low-level mystical skill, one can defeat the weak against the strong, and defeat those who have practiced higher-level mystical skills but are not proficient in them. Xiao Yan's fighting power is terrifying, and he often fights beyond his level. A large part of the reason is that he has cultivated powerful mysterious skills. While the enemy was still using profound-level mystical skills, Xiao Yan had already learned the Earth-rank mystical skill that Elder Dan taught him, the Flame-Devouring Wave Ruler. How could the enemy win? Looking at the entire Holy Code Empire, Tianlin sect's mysterious skills are the best. Su Han has Tianlin sect on his back, so he will not let go of this advantage. Su Han left Cave Mansion and went to Sutra Pavilion. With the Union Warrant, he successfully got back 3 books of mysterious skills under the respectful attitude of the elders guarding Sutra Pavilion. The first book, Profound Level Middle Level Mysterious Technique Wandering Dragon Step, is a body technique. After it is used, the flexibility is greatly increased. It is like a swimming dragon, and the enemy cannot catch it at all. The second book, Profound Level Low-Grade Mysterious Technique Qingfeng Wing, is a rare flying mysterious technique that allows people to fly. In the Xuanqi continent, only the Profound King can fly. The mysterious flying skill allows practitioners below the Profound King to master the ability to fly in advance, which shows its value. Even though Qing Fengyi only has profound level low-grade mystical skills, even if someone else takes profound level high-grade mystical skills, it is impossible for the Tianlin sect to change them. Very precious. It is basically impossible for ordinary Tianlin sect disciples to obtain it, and the huge amount of sect contribution points is enough to deter them. Su Han had no contribution points, but he was a direct disciple of the sect leader and had Yun Yun's warrant, so he easily brought out Qingfengyi. This made Su Han sigh with emotion. With a great master, my cultivation journey will be smooth sailing. The move of becoming a member of the Tianlin sect was definitely a very correct move. If Su Han doesn't join Tianlin sect and chooses to be an independent cultivator, or hugs Xiao Yan's lap, I don't know when she will be able to obtain a copy of Flying Mysterious Skills. The last mysterious book that Su Han took from Sutra Pavilion is called Wind Spirit Fractal Sword. Profound rank middle level, attack type mysterious skill, can divide the sword light, the number and power of the division all depend on the strength of the caster. The stronger the caster, the greater the number of sword lights and the stronger their power. The Tianlin sect has the Wind Extreme series of mysterious skills, which are of a higher level than the Wind Spirit Fractal Sword. Su Han would choose the Wind Spirit Fractal Sword, not because he is not qualified to practice the Wind Ultimate series of mysterious skills, but because the Wind Spirit Fractal Sword is a swordsmanship mystery. It can be fused with the sword intent he comprehended, and explode with a power of 1+1 far greater than 2, which is not weaker than the Wind Extreme series of mysterious skills. Now that you have obtained the mysterious skills, let's start practicing. Su Han once again devoted himself to hard training. In addition to the pressure from the chat group, Xiao Yan also put pressure on him. After all, behind Xiao Yan, there is an elixir at the peak of profound venerable. Even if it is just his soul, he is not a little bit stronger than a small place like the Holy Code Empire. If Su Han wants to intercept Hu Xiaoyan's opportunity, he will offend the opponent to death. His strength must be high enough to suppress the opponent. Ding, the host practices the Wind Spirit Fractal Sword, and his proficiency is +1. Closing square bracket. Ding, 100 times the critical hit, Wind Spirit Fractal Sword proficiency +100. Closing square bracket. As Su Han practiced mystical skills, the system beeps kept ringing. In just 10 days, Su Han mastered all 3 mysterious skills to the basic accomplishment level. At this time, Su Hana's personal panel changed dramatically. Host: Su Han. Race: human race. Realm: 1-star mysterious master. Skill: sword intent 5% entry level. Skills: Fuyao Technique Volume 1 Basic Accomplishment 1% 3 Yonggong Perfection. Mysterious Skills: Wandering Dragon Step Basic Accomplishment 1%, Qingfeng Wing Basic Accomplishment 1%, Wind Spirit Fractal Sword Basic Accomplishment 1%. What makes Su Han a little helpless is that the proficiency of the mysterious skills increases by 1 point every time. Even after 100 times of critical hits, it is only 100 points. Unlike Kung Fu, proficiency can be increased by taking elixirs. After 3 books of profound level basic accomplishment, the improvement of proficiency has entered a slow stage. Su Han estimated that it would take several months to complete any profound level secret skill. In fact, this speed is so amazing that if it spreads, it will scare countless people to death. As we all know, it is easy to get started with mysterious skills, but difficult to perfect. Even if it is a yellow level secret skill, it will take a genius several years to perfect it. Not to mention the profound level secret skills, which are even more difficult. It would take more than 10 years for a peerless genius like Nolan Shui to completely perfect a profound level mystical skill. Therefore, many people practice mysterious skills. Generally, they will not continue to study in depth after reaching the mastery level, but will instead pursue higher level mysterious skills. After all, the basic accomplishment of high-level mysterious technique is enough to beat the perfect low-level mysterious technique. The cost-effectiveness of cultivating low-level mystical skills to perfection is too low. It is far better to pursue higher-level mystical skills or spend time practicing. Among the several ways to increase mystical skill proficiency, retreat practice is the slowest. You only add a little each time. Compete with others to gain more proficiency. It seems that I have to find other people to learn from each other and improve my mysterious skills in actual combat. Quote. Su Han's eyes flashed. When Su Han was in Novice Village, he discovered that the proficiency of mysterious skills could be quickly increased through sparring. Now that the mysterious skills are progressing slowly, Su Han thought of this method again. There are so many disciples of Tianlin sect, I can go to them to discuss and quickly improve my proficiency in mystical skills. Su Han quickly thought of a way and decided to go to Tianlin Zong Square. Cultivation cannot be done alone. You need to communicate and learn from others to make progress. Tianlin sect specially set up a competition arena in the square to facilitate the competition among the disciples. In addition, there is a life and death arena responsible for resolving conflicts among disciples. When disciples have great conflicts, they can go to the stage of life and death. Of course, under normal circumstances, no one will go to the stage of life and death easily. If he is killed, it will not be his own. It depends on the strength of the opponent and whether he is merciful. Suhan walked out of Cave Mansion and walked towards the square. When he was going down the mountain, he happened to meet Nalan Shui. This is normal. Suhan, Yunyun and Nalan Shui all live in Tianlin sect and can always meet. Junior brother. Nalan Shui's beautiful eyes lit up when she saw Suhan, and she walked towards him, with a trace of joy on her pretty face that she didn't even notice. I've met senior sister. Suhan stopped and saluted Nalan Shui. Although he was already a Zon master, she was still just a Zon master. There is a huge gap in cultivation between the two, but the etiquette cannot be abolished. Nalan Shui was his senior sister, so she naturally had to salute when meeting her. Nalan Shui was about to speak when she suddenly sensed Suhan's aura, and a hint of shock appeared on her face. Have you broken through to the mysterious master? Suhan had just broken through to the Zon master, and his aura was still unable to be controlled freely, and then Nalan Shui noticed it. However, breaking through to the mysterious master is not a secret that cannot be told. On the contrary, one must take the initiative to tell it. The more talented Suhan is, the more Tianlin sect will value him and invest more resources in him. Therefore, Nalan Shui discovered that Suhan broke through Xuanxi, and he admitted it very simply. Well, I had a lucky break a few days ago. An 18-year-old mysterious master. Nalan Shui was in a daze, and her heart was filled with shock and disbelief. She has always been confident in her talents. Nalanzu was defeated by Suhan last time, but she was not discouraged. She believed that she could catch up with him and then surpass him. But today I suddenly discovered that Suhan had broken through to Master Zon. Nalan Shui suddenly felt that maybe she would never be able to catch up with Suhan in this life. His talent was too terrifying. She is still in the realm of the mysterious master, and Suhan is the mysterious master. When she breaks through Xuanxi, what height will Suhan reach? Sister, are you okay? Suhan waved his hand in front of Nalan Shui. Nalan Shui, who was in a daze, recovered and looked at Suhan with a pair of beautiful eyes, with a hint of complexity in her expression. Junior brother, your talent is so terrifying, I was even frightened. Sister Liao praised me, but my talent is actually average. Suhan responded modestly and changed the topic. If nothing happens, senior sister, I will take my leave. Having said that, Suhan crossed Nalan Shui and was about to leave. He also had to brush up on his proficiency in a few mysterious skills, so he had no time to waste here. Etc. Nalanzu stopped Suhan. Senior sister, what else do you have to do? Suhan turned around and asked. Nalan Shui stared at him with resentful eyes and said, Junior brother, you have been in seclusion for several months, which really made it easy for me to wait. During this time, Nalanzu has been thinking about sword intent. Sometimes she doesn't understand and wants to ask Suhan for advice, but he can't come out of seclusion. Although Nalan Shui knew that Suhan taught her out of love and not taught her out of duty, it was inevitable that there would be a trace of resentment. On weekdays, when Nalan Shui has something to do, she doesn't need to take the initiative to say it, and countless men rush to help her. During this time, she took the initiative to find Suhan but was ignored. This contrast made Nalanzu doubt her own charm. Senior sister, have you looked for me during this time? Suhan had a look of surprise on his face, pretending not to know that Nalan Shui had come to see him several times in the past few months. Seeing Suhan's appearance, Nalan Shui was so angry that she wanted to bite him. But when she thought of business, she took a deep breath to calm down. Junior brother, I have been groping for the sword intent during this period, and I have vaguely touched it. I want to spar with you a few more times, is that okay? Quote. Nalanzu touched the sword intent and was only one step away from breaking through. But it was difficult to take this step, and her many attempts failed. Nalan Shui felt that experiencing Suhan's sword intent a few more times might help her understand sword intent. This is also the reason why Nalanzu came to Suhan many times during this period. Unexpectedly, Suhan ignored Nalan Shui and kept in retreat, which made her feel resentful. Nalanzu touched the sword intent. Suhan's expression remained unchanged, but there was a hint of shock in his heart. Is Nalanzu's talent so high? He threw the outline of the Dugu Nine Swords to her, and no one gave any guidance. She relied on her own exploration, and she actually touched the sword intent in just a few months. You know, sword intent is so mysterious that it is difficult for others to teach you. You can only rely on yourself to understand it. In many fantasy novels, those who can understand the sword intent are unique. It can only be said that Nalan Shui is worthy of being the biggest villain in the early stage of Do Po, and the woman who can make Xiao Yan make a 3-year contract, awesome. Su Han's impression of Nalan Shui has changed a lot. If Xiao Yan did not exist, Nalan Shui's life may go smoothly and she will stand on the top of the Xuanqi continent. Junior brother, can you spar with me? Please. Seeing that Su Han didn't speak, Nalan Shui asked again. She had never begged anyone in her life, and Su Han was the first. She was a little nervous inside, worried about being rejected by Su Han, which would be too embarrassing. Su Han pondered for a moment and nodded slowly. Can. The purpose of Su Han's exit was to compete with others to improve his proficiency in Green Wind Wings, Wind Spirit Fractal Sword and Wandering Dragon Steps. Since it is to brush up on proficiency, it is the same with Nalan Shui. Helping her understand the sword intent is a matter of course. Nalan Shui is senior sister Su Han after all, so it is reasonable to take care of her. Nalan Shui felt relieved when she heard Su Han agreed. Thank you, junior brother. A smile appeared on Nalan Shui's face, as bright as a blooming flower. If other male disciples of Tianlin sect were to see this scene, their eyes would probably pop out. Nalan Shui's image has always been arrogant and cold. She actually smiled in front of Su Han, like an innocent girl. This is really jealous. Su Han felt happy when she saw Nalan Shui's smile. Who doesn't like the smile of a beautiful girl? Senior sister, you're welcome. You and I are from the same sect and we should help each other. How can we say thank you? Su Han said with a slight smile. When Nalan Shui heard this, a strange color flashed through her beautiful eyes, which quickly dissipated. Su Han found an open space at Yunlin Peak and began to compete with Nalan Shui. Su Han specially cultivated himself into a seal and only used the strength of a 5-star mystic. Otherwise, he would be able to kill Nalan Shui instantly with one move at the realm of Zon Master, so he would not be able to serve as a guide. As for why he showed the strength of a 5-star mystic instead of a 3-star mystic. In these 3 months, Nalan Shui has also made progress, rising from a 3-star profound practitioner to a 5-star profound practitioner. The venue is selected, both sides come and go, various sword skills are displayed, and the sword light shines. Su Han deliberately showed the sword intent many times so that Nalan Shui could understand it. Nalanzu gained a lot and was closer to comprehending the sword intent. She had a smile on her face and looked very happy. Su Han also had a smile on his face. Since the sparring began, the system beep in his head has not stopped. Ding, the host uses the Wind Spirit Fractal Sword to fight the enemy, proficiency +10. Closing square bracket. Ding, 100 times the critical hit, Wind Spirit Fractal Sword proficiency +1000. Closing square bracket. Ding, the host uses Dragon Step to fight the enemy, proficiency +20. Closing square bracket. Ding, 100 times the critical hit, Dragon Step proficiency +2000. Closing square bracket. Sure enough, if you want to increase your proficiency in mystical skills, practicing in seclusion alone is the slowest and most efficient method. You will only gain a little more proficiency each time. You have to find others to compare with, and your proficiency will increase by 2 digits at a time, and your progress will skyrocket. Quote. Su Han was very happy and looked at Nalan Shui with a fiery look. She was not a senior sister, she was clearly his experienced baby. Su Han became more and more cooperative with Nalan Shui. After half a day, Nalan Shui's profound energy was exhausted, dripping with sweat, and panting. Junior brother, you are too powerful, I can't do it anymore, this is the end of the day. Su Han was a little regretful that Nalan Shui didn't last long enough. As soon as he regained his energy, she died. Then senior sister, you go back first, I have to go to the Zongmin Square to compete in the ring. Su Han said, why are you going to the Zongmin Square arena? Nalan Shui was a little confused. I picked out 3 books on mysterious techniques at Sutra Pavilion. I have already started learning them. I want to compete with other brothers and sisters to improve my practical experience. Suhan said. Exercise training can indeed improve practical experience to a great extent. Nalanzu nodded, fully agreeing with Suhan's idea, and she spoke. Do you know where the arena is? How about I show you the way? Thank you, senior sister. Master gave me an internal map of Tianlin sect. I know how to get to the arena. Suhan declined. Nalan Shui was a prominent figure in the Tianlin sect. If he went to the ring with her, the other male disciples would probably be jealous of him. Suhan just wanted to silently increase his proficiency in mysterious skills. Nalanzu was rejected and did not persist. The two parted ways, and Nalanzu hurried back to Cave Mansion to digest the sword intent insights from today's discussion with Suhan. Suhan went to the square arena. There are many people in the arena, and many Tianlin sect disciples are here to compete and learn from each other. After all, everyone knows that if you want to become a truly strong person, you cannot practice hard work behind closed doors. In addition to the ordinary sparring arena, there is also a life and death arena in the square, with elders sitting in charge for a long time. If there is a major conflict between Tianlin sect disciples, they can come to the arena to fight to the death. Suhan naturally entered an ordinary arena. He sealed his cultivation and only displayed the profound energy of the 9-star mysterious master to challenge various mysterious masters. If Suhan uses Zon master cultivation, no Zon master can withstand 10 moves in his hands. In this way, he would not be able to gain proficiency in mystical skills. After all, if everyone knows that he is strong, they will not look for him as an opponent to abuse him. Therefore, Suhan sealed his own cultivation and only used the strength of the 9-star mystic. In this way, an ordinary mysterious master can support hundreds of moves under his hands, or even more. Suhan's goal of gaining proficiency in mystical skills has been achieved. On the first day, Suhan challenged 3 Zon masters, fought thousands of moves, and successfully increased the proficiency of Fengling Fractal Sword from Basic Accomplishment 1% to Basic Accomplishment 30%. Such efficiency made Suhan very happy, knowing that he had come to the arena to compete with other disciples of the Tianlin sect. If Suhan were allowed to practice alone, it would take at least 10 days to increase the proficiency of Fengling Fractal Sword from Basic Accomplishment 1% to Basic Accomplishment 30%. The harvest was gratifying, which made Suhan fall in love with the sect arena. Looking at other Tianlin sect disciples was like looking at experienced babies. In the days that followed, Suhan continued to challenge the Tianlin sect disciples, maximizing his 3 major mystical skills, as well as his sword intent proficiency. The disciples of Tianlin sect have all become Suhan's experienced babies. Even if he is a profound practitioner, Suhan will not let him go. At worst, he will suppress his cultivation level to that of a 1-star profound practitioner, and then challenge those Tianlin sect disciples who are 4-star profound practitioners or above. Of course, when facing some 8-star and 9-star mysterious masters with terrifying strength, Suhan did not need to seal his cultivation, so he could unleash all his strength. With such efforts, Suhan's progress has been terrifying. The 4 major methods of Wind Spirit Fractal Sword, Wandering Dragon Step, Qingfeng Wing and Sword Intent can be seen with the naked eye every day. And Suhan's reputation spread quickly, resounding throughout the Tianlin sect. The sect master has recently recruited his direct disciple Suhan. The genius who broke through to the 9-star mysterious master at the age of 18 has now broken through to the mysterious master. Oh my God, I remember that it has been less than a few months since he became the disciple of the sect master, right? Has he achieved a breakthrough as a profound master in such a short time? His talent is so terrifying. Not only that, Suhan also fought against many veteran Zon masters without losing a single one. Even fighting against an 8-star profound master, he was slightly better. Quote, "You can defeat the 8-star Zon master when you first join the Zon master. His Zon chi is so strong, far superior to that of the same level, and he has also cultivated Zon skills to a very advanced level." Countless Tianlin sect disciples were talking about it, and countless people were shocked by Suhan's talent and strength. At the same age, when they were still in the mysterious master stage, or even in the mysterious chi stage, Suhan had already broken through to the mysterious master level. Moreover, as soon as Suhan broke through the Zon master, he defeated the veteran Zon masters one after another, including even an 8-star Zon master. It's ridiculously strong. It turned out that Suhan was accepted as a direct disciple by Yun Yun, and many Tianlin sect disciples were a little jealous. But as Suhan broke through the Zon master and defeated an 8-star Zon master, they could no longer be jealous. If the gap between two people is not big, people will be envious and jealous, but if the gap between two people is too big, if the gap between them is too big, people will not be jealous. This is the mentality of the Tianlin sect disciples. The talent and strength shown by Suhan were so terrifying, surpassing them by several levels and completely crushing them. Many Tianlin sect disciples became awestruck when facing Suhan. Suhan already has the appearance of being the number one among the younger generation of Tianlin sect. The female disciples of the Tianlin sect were even more impressed by Suhan's strength. A large number of them became his fans and often came to the ring to watch him compete with others. Whenever Suhan defeats his opponent, the fans will cheer for him, with admiration and adoration in their eyes. Senior brother Suhan is so handsome. Senior brother Suhan, can you come to my cave mansion to teach me how to practice mystical skills? There are also some beautiful female disciples who deliberately approach Suhan, with soft tones and charming eyes. The 18-year-old Master Zon is still the direct disciple of the sect leader. In the eyes of these beautiful female disciples, Suhan is a rich son-in-law of the transcendent level. If you can become Suhan's woman, the benefits will be great, including great status and training resources. I one quarter everything they can think of, Tongtong can get. This made Suhan a favorite, and many beautiful girls surrounded him, hoping to get his favor. Countless male disciples are so envious and jealous that their back molars are almost broken. They also really want the treatment of being surrounded by beautiful senior sisters and junior sisters. Fortunately, Suhan only wanted to improve his proficiency in mystical skills and politely declined the invitations of these beautiful senior sisters. Otherwise, many male disciples of the Tianlin sect would really break their defenses. As Suhan continued to challenge without ever losing, his reputation rose from among disciples to among elders. It's a pity that such a talented person didn't become my disciple. The second elder slapped his thigh. He was about to accept Suhan as his disciple, but was stopped by Yun Yun, which made him regretful for a time. Originally this matter just passed with the passage of time. But Suhan's record of breaking through the Zon master in a few months and defeating the 8-star Zon master brought back the memories of the second elder. The more he thought about it, the more regretful he became, and the more regretful and angry he became. Finally, he called his disciples and beat them severely. He didn't dare to complain to Yun Yun, why couldn't he beat his disciples? Anyway, these disciples are not up to par, and they are all far behind Suhan. A good beating might stimulate their fighting spirit. The disciples were summoned by their master and received a beating for no reason. If they were told the real reason why the second elder beat them, they would probably burst into tears. The other elders did not vent their anger on the disciple like the second elder, but they still felt very sorry in their hearts. If they had persisted in their attitude in the sect hall that day, Suhan, a genius-level disciple, would have been theirs. I feel like I missed 100 million. Fortunately, Suhan worshipped Yun Yun as his teacher and was still from the Tianlin sect. The fat water does not flow to outsiders, fields. This is the only comfort for many elders. At the top of Yunlin Peak, Yun Yun also heard the news about Suhan. Did he break through to Master Zon so quickly? His talent is really terrifying. Yun Yun murmured that when she taught Suhan Fuyaoju, she realized his terrifying talent. Suhan's breakthrough to Master Zon within a few months was not beyond her expectations. However, Suhan's combat power was beyond her imagination. When you first join the Zon Master, you can defeat the 8-star Zon Master, and you are invincible at the same level. Even though Yun Yun already had a high opinion of Suhan, when he heard the news, he still felt that he had underestimated him. Perhaps, he can really lead Tianlin sect back to glory, and even surpass the peak. Yun Yun felt a sense of expectation in his heart. The potential shown by Suhan makes her full of hope for his future. I 1/4 I 1/4 I 1/4. On a certain mountain peak of Tianlin sect, Alchemy King Koga's expression darkened. This kid is actually such a monster, and his growth rate is terrifying. The last time in the sect hall, Koga was refuted by Su-han, which made him feel a trace of resentment. I wanted to teach Su-han a lesson. Who knew that Su-han was an ascetic monk who had been practicing in seclusion at Yunlin Peak, and Koga's revenge failed. Now, Su-han has finally come out of seclusion. Before Koga could teach him a lesson, he had already achieved such a big reputation. The 18-year-old Zon Master jumped up the ranks and defeated the 8-star Zon Master. Koga has never seen such a level of cultivation and combat power, but he has heard that there are such people outside the Holy Code Empire, and they are considered to be very few in number, and they are called geniuses. The better Su-han became, the more uncomfortable Koga became, and he also developed a hint of hostility. Su-han is Yun-yun's disciple, and the two have been in contact for a long time. Koga wasn't worried about anything at first. Su-han's cultivation level was too low and he was only a 9-star profound practitioner, so he didn't even bother to take a look at it. But Su-han broke through Zon Master in a few months, which shows how terrifying his talent is. He will definitely break through Profound King and even Profound Sovereign very quickly in the future. Perhaps, in 20 or 30 years, Su-han will be able to break through Profound Sovereign. By then, Su-han will be qualified to pursue Yun-yun. As her disciple, he will be the first to get the moon. Koga would never accept that possibility. We can't let him continue to grow. We have to find someone to get rid of him. Koga narrowed his eyes, revealing a hint of danger. He was not a good person, and he was even more petty. When Su-han refused to accept Koga as a disciple in the sect's main hall in front of all the elders of the Tianlin sect, he suffered a huge loss of face and was resented by him. Now, Su-han's strength has improved so quickly, showing his qualifications to marry Yun-yun. Koga, who has long regarded Yun-yun as a forbidden love, will naturally not sit back and watch the rise of Su-han, and will become his strong love rival in the future. Sending someone to kill Su-han secretly is the solution once and for all. When people die, there is no threat anymore. As for Tianlin sect losing a genius who can lead them to rise. What does that have to do with Koga? He is willing to come to Tianlin sect to be a guest elder solely for the purpose of pursuing Yun-yun. I 1/4 I 1/4 I 1/4. Su-han didn't know what the Tianlin sect disciples and elders thought of him, nor did he know that Koga had murderous intentions for him and was planning to send someone to kill him. He still goes back and forth between Yunlin Peak and the arena square every day, competing with many Tianlin sect disciples, maximizing his proficiency in the 3 major mystical skills and sword intent, and his strength has soared. Many Tianlin sect disciples are also happy to discuss with Su-han. When Su-han encounters a disciple with a low cultivation level, he will choose to seal his cultivation level, making his own realm far lower than the opponent's, and rely on mystical skills to deal with the opponent. In this way, Su-han can perform at least hundreds of moves against every disciple of the Tianlin sect, maximizing his proficiency in mystical skills. The disciples of the Tianlin sect didn't know that Su-han was improving his proficiency, and they all thought that he deliberately suppressed his cultivation in order to serve as a sparring partner, teach them moves, help them practice mystical skills, and increase their practical experience. Such a genius is actually willing to spend his time as a sparring partner for free. Senior brother Su, you are such a good person. Many Tianlin sect disciples were very moved and recognized Su-han in their hearts. As time went by, Su-han's popularity actually surpassed Nalin Shui. Many people feel in their hearts that Su-han is more suitable to be the young sect leader than Nalin Shui. Nalin Shui went into seclusion for a week, and finally successfully understood the falling leaf's sword intent. The trajectory of the sword was like a falling leaf, drifting and unable to be understood. The sword move anomaly can be changed at any time, making it hard to guard against. Nalinzu was very happy. Months of hard work finally paid off. She was ready to go to Su-han and tell him the good news. At the same time, Nalin Shui still had an idea in her mind. She wanted to compete with Su-han again. She has realized the sword intent, making up for the shortcomings. Nalin Shui believes that at the same level, she can definitely defeat Su-han. But he heard about Su Han's achievements during this period and the support given to him by the disciples of Tianlin sect. The latter was directly ignored by Nalan Shui. She never cared about false names such as young sect master, and only believed that strength was the most important thing. But the former directly made Nalanzu give up the idea of AAAA discussing with Su Han. A new Zon master, but he can defeat even an 8-star Zon master. He is simply a monster. Nalanzu whispered. It's never easy to compete at a higher level. If you fight beyond a small realm, you can be recognized as a genius. Su Han defeated his opponent across 8 small realms, he was simply inhuman. At least, Nalan Shui felt that after breaking through the Zon master, she would not be able to defeat the 8-star Zon master. Even if she understood the sword intent, she couldn't do it. Sword intent is not invincible, it also has limits in the face of absolute state suppression. Unless the sword intent can be upgraded to the basic accomplishment level, so that the power of the sword intent can be qualitatively improved, then the Zon master can be killed indiscriminately, and it is even possible to kill the great Zon master with a sword. But just understanding the sword intent is difficult. If you want to improve sword intent, it is several times more difficult than understanding sword intent. Even more. Nalanzu felt that it would take at least several years for her to understand the basic accomplishment sword intent. Nalanzu gave up the idea of AA discussing with Su Han and returned to Cave Mansion to continue her retreat. I am no match for you this time. I will definitely defeat you next time. Nalanzu is very motivated and regards Su Han as a big mountain. Sooner or later, she will climb over Su Han. I 1/4. In the chat group, Su Han has not bubbled up for many days, and the group members are in the group as usual. Yi Sheng 5656 lying in the yard basking in the sun and eating grapes fed by the beautiful maid, life is so pleasant. Lu Jun 2332 Are you so free? You still have time to lie in the yard and bask in the sun. How are you doing with the earth rank technique Fuyaoju that Brother Su gave you? Quote. Yi Sheng 5656 I get angry when I talk about this. I can practice Fuyaoju, but the vitality of the world in which I live is pitifully thin. Even if I spend money to temporarily improve my understanding in root bone, the progress will be extremely slow. Quote. It is difficult for a clever woman to cook without rice. In the world of martial arts, the energy of heaven and earth is thin. No matter how powerful Yi Sheng is, limited by the environment, his progress in practicing Fuyao technique is also very slow. He is helpless, but has no way to solve the problem. This is not a human problem, but a world environmental problem. The only way to solve this problem is to upgrade the world. But upgrading the world, let alone Yi Sheng, even the gods would have difficulty doing it. As time passed, Yi Sheng became exhausted and simply stopped practicing Fuyao technique and continued his previous life, listening to music every day and having sex from time to time. Lu Jun 2323 The progress of my cultivation is quite gratifying. The world of swords and magic where Lu Jun lives is quite high level. There are even gods that can destroy the world. A forbidden spell can destroy a small city. In such a powerful world, the vitality of heaven and earth is very abundant. Yi Sheng 5656 Gangungan, don't show off here, I'm in a bad mood. Yi Sheng was depressed, he had bad luck. If one were to transmigrate to the world of the sky like Su Han, or to the fantasy world like Yang Hu, one would not be troubled by the problem of thin vitality of heaven and earth, and could only watch helplessly despite having no high-level skills. Lu Jun 2323 Hey. Susan 250 Speaking of which, Suhan Hasna T made a splash in a long time. If his profile picture wasn't still on, I would have been worried about him. Quote. Yi Sheng 5656 Suhan must be practicing in seclusion, after all, he said he wanted to intercept Hu Xiaoyan's opportunity. You also need to have enough strength to cut off the opportunity, otherwise it will be easy. Quote. Lu Feifei 10088 I still don't understand why I have to go against Xiaoyan. Obviously hugging his thigh is the best way to get through the world of the sky. If Lu Feifei were to transmigrate to the Kangchong world, she would hug Xiaoyan's thigh immediately. This is the future Emperor Yan. As long as you gain the friendship of Emperor Yan, are you still worried that you won't be able to get along in the world of the sky? Lu Jun 2332a. It depends on the mountains to fall, but on the water to flow. After all, holding Xiao Yan's thigh is not as good as being your own thigh. Quote. Yi Sheng 5656 support. Xiao Yan is the protagonist, but Brother Su has Goldfinger and is a member of the chat group. He can completely replace Xiao Yan. Yi Sheng felt a little unhappy in his heart. This Lu Feifei always wanted to hug her thighs, which simply lowered her status in the Transmigrate chat group. Lu Feifei 10088. Susan 250. The chat group is a place where everyone can live in harmony and no one should argue. Newcomer, how is the situation over there? Quote. Susan changed the subject. Lu Feifei 10088. Oh, I am under surveillance every day. I am almost suffering from depression. After Lu Feifei was captured by the world's indigenous people, she was interrogated. Lu Feifei had never seen this scene before, so she immediately searched them all, admitted that she was a transmigrator, and also exposed the Transmigrate chat group. However, Lu Feifei is still a bit smart and never told anyone about her Goldfinger. If anyone thought they could inherit her Goldfinger by killing her, she was dead. The natives of that world were shocked after learning about the situation, and immediately uploaded the situation after confirming its authenticity. After the top Chinese officials learned that there were other worlds and the existence of Transmigrator, they were also shocked and ordered Lu Feifei's information to be treated as a top-secret document. And arranged for her to live in a large villa, with cameras and manual surveillance secretly. As for the fact that Lu Feifei was most worried about not being discovered, the natives of the world did not slice her up for study. First of all, Lu Feifei is just an ordinary person. Apart from her identity as a transmigrator, there is nothing special about her. She can't find a direction even if she wants to slice it up and study it. Secondly, Lu Feifei is not a transmigrator alone. There is a transmigrator chat group behind her, and the members in the group are all transmigrators. According to Lu Feifei, these transmigrators are old-timers and possess the power of transcendent. China's top management arranged for special talents who can identify lies to confirm that what Lu Feifei said was true. This made China's senior management fearful and did not dare to deal with Lu Feifei at will. The transmigrator can transmigrate different worlds. They can deal with Lu Feifei at will. It would be bad if a powerful transmigrator comes to their world. After all, people in this world already have powerful enemies. The monsters that have been baptized by the spiritual energy tide and awakened are the most terrifying natural disasters, defeating mankind step by step. You can only huddle in one heavy city. Susan 250. It's not a problem to keep wasting it like this. I think it would be better for you to tell the Chinese senior management about your Goldfinger and negotiate a cooperation with them. Otherwise, you will always be an ordinary person, and your situation will be very dangerous when the group mission starts in the future. Quote. Lu Feifei 10088. Goldfinger is too precious. If it is exposed, if the natives of this world have other ideas, I may die. It was a matter of safety and there was no room for Lu Feifei to be cautious. Yi Sheng 250. What are you afraid of? Wealth can be found in danger. Give it a try. If you win the bet, you will reach the top of your life. If you lose the bet, you will start over in the next life. Lu Feifei 10088. Is this human language? What do you mean by reopening in the next life? Are you here to play games? Lu Jun 2323. Unfortunately, the chat group does not have face-to-face functions for the time being. Otherwise, I would transmigrate your world, make a shining appearance riding a dragon, and add some powerful spells. Let the natives of your world see what nuclear peace is, and they won't dare to put you under house arrest. Quote. Lu Feifei 10088. I also really hope that the chat group will have a face-to-face function. Lu Feifei does not know that the world she transmigrate is not a simple modern society, but a modern society with a resurgent spirit. Naturally, Lu Jun didn't know even more. He thought it was a modern world and that he could directly push forward with the power of transcendent. If he really transmigrated into Lu Feifei's world, he would probably come back crying. Yi Sheng 5656. Holy shit. You actually have a giant dragon as a mount. Lu Jun 2323 My Goldfinger is a dragon knight. Is it reasonable to have a giant dragon as a mount? Yi Sheng 5656. At this moment, Yi Sheng once again felt how pitiful the world level limit was. If he was in the sky world, would he still need to envy Lu Jun's dragon mount? He directly grabbed a purple and gold lion king and used it as a mount. 100 times more powerful than a giant dragon. Yi Sheng 5656 I'm so sad. I'm going to the biggest Gulen in the capital tonight to let the Oran lady comfort my wounded heart. Lu Jun's smile froze, and the joy of just conquering a giant dragon's mount was gone. Compared with the beautiful, gentle and lovely court lady, the dragon is nothing. Especially for Lu Jun, a virgin. He glanced at the dragon mount lying on the ground and suddenly began to curse. Why can't you transform into a dragon maid? Dragon mount. Master, let alone whether I can transform, I am a male. Lu Jun went offline with a trace of sadness and anger, and began to practice hard. He vowed to break through the legend as quickly as possible and get rid of his old-fashioned master who did not allow his disciples to have sex with women. Then, Lu Jun wants to catch a few succubi and envy the dead Yi Sheng. Susan 250 Yi Sheng, you are an old pervert. You listen to music every day, be careful of getting sick. Yi Sheng 5656 Hey, that's not possible. I have returned to innate the day after tomorrow and achieved Grandmaster status. My body will not produce any diseases. Besides, dying under the peonies would be a good thing even if you were a ghost. Quote. Susan 250. It's hopeless. Lu Feifei's face turned slightly red and she secretly spat. This Yi Sheng is so romantic. Yi Sheng quickly went offline and prepared some money to go to Gulen to listen to music. Susan and Lu Feifei also went offline one after another, and the chat group returned to its previous tranquility. I won quarter. Time passed, and 3 months passed in a flash. Su Han finally stopped his frenzied discussion with Tianlin sect disciples and opened his personal panel. Compared with 3 months ago, various data have undergone earth-shaking changes. Host: Su Han. Race: human race. Realm: 2-star Xuanxi. Exercise: Fuyao technique basic accomplishment 11%. Skill: sword intent basic accomplishment 10%. Mysterious skills: Qingfeng Wing perfection, Wind Spirit fractal sword perfection, Wandering Dragon step perfection. In the past 3 months, Su Han did not practice the Fuyao technique specifically, but every time he competed with other Tianlin sect disciples, he had to use the Fuyao technique after the profound energy was exhausted. After 3 months, the proficiency of Fuyao technique increased from 1% to 11%, and Su Han successfully broke through to the 2-star Xuanzhi. The 3 profound ranked mystical skills of Qingfeng Wing, Wandering Dragon Step, and Wind Spirit Fractal Sword were perfected by Su Han within 3 months. They were completely mastered and could not make any progress. Even the founders of these 3 mysterious techniques dare not say in front of Su Han that their understanding of the mysterious techniques they created exceeds his. With 3 perfect levels of profound ranked mystical skills, Su Han's combat power has been greatly improved. Even if he is a 9-star mystic master, he has the confidence to kill him and truly become invincible at the level of mystical master. Of course, only within the Holy Code Empire. If he were outside the Holy Code Empire, Su Han would not dare to say that he was invincible at the Zon master level. Especially in Zhongzhou, many descendants of great religions and direct descendants of great families practice earth rank in their mysterious skills. Even if their level of mastery of mystical skills is not as good as that of Su Han, the level of mystic skills is enough to erase this gap. There is nothing Su Han can do about this. It is a matter of family background. He comes from a big family and a big power, and his skills and mystical skills are at a higher level than ordinary people. In fact, in the eyes of ordinary people, Su Han also came from a powerful force. He was a disciple of the profound sovereign strongman Yun Yun, and backed the Tianlin sect, the strongest force in the Holy Code Empire. The exercises and mystical skills he cultivates are among the best in the Holy Code Empire. It's only when Su Han compares upward that he feels ordinary. The 3 mysterious skills have greatly improved Su Han's strength. He is very happy, but what makes him most happy is the sword intent that has reached the basic accomplishment stage. Compared with the initial sword intent, the power of the sword intent in the basic accomplishment stage has made a qualitative leap. Like a baby turning into a strong adult. Suhan conducted an experiment after the sword intent reached the basic accomplishment stage. He slashed out with his sword and flattened the top of a small hill. Such power is slightly inferior to ordinary great mystic masters. This is Suhana's biggest gain in 3 months. All 3 mysterious skills have been cultivated to a perfect level, and sword intent and basic accomplishment have made a qualitative leap. Even those who have not deliberately improved their cultivation have broken through a small realm. Everything is ready, it's time to go to the Demon Dragon Mountains to intercept Hu Shaoyan's opportunity. Calculating the time, Xiaoyan should leave Yuta City at this time and go to the Demon Dragon Mountains to experience. Quote. Suhan's eyes flashed, and he was very interested in meeting Xiaoyan, the protagonist of Kangchong World. Suhan stood up, left Cave Mansion, displayed his green wind wings, flew to Union Cave Mansion, raised his hands and saluted loudly. Disciple Suhan, please see Master. Boom. After a while, the door of the cave mansion opened, and a beautiful figure moved lightly with lotus steps. It was Suhan's master Yunyun who came out. What's the point of looking for a teacher? Yunyun was dressed in a golden silk robe with 3,000 blue silk threads, which was pulled up into the shape of a phoenix and revealed a hint of nobility that was difficult to conceal. Her face is quiet and beautiful, like a clear spring in a secluded mountain. While people are in awe because of her noble status, they can't help but feel a little fondness for her. This was not the first time Suhan saw Yunyun, but he was amazed by her beauty and temperament every time. Fortunately, Suhan had amazing concentration and did not stare at Yunyun all the time. He lowered his head slightly and asked for instructions. Master, I want to go to the Demon Dragon Mountains to experience and look for some opportunities. Experience is just an excuse, intercepting Hu Shaoyan's opportunity is Suhan's real purpose of going to the Magic Dragon Mountains. Going to the Demonic Dragon Mountains for training. It's a good idea. It just so happens that Koga wants to refine a pill for Shue'er to improve her cultivation. Purple gold spiritual crystal is needed as the main material, and I also want to go to the Magic Dragon Mountains. You can go with me and I'll protect you along the way. Quote. A faint smile appeared on Yunyun's delicate face. Thank you, Master. Suhan thanked him, but the plot of the world in the sky passed through his mind. Alchemy King Koga wants to refine an elixir for Nalanzu to increase his cultivation, which requires purple gold spiritual crystal as the main material. Yunyun went to the Demon Dragon Mountains and fought with the purple gold Lion King, but was unfortunately severely wounded. Xiaoyan took advantage and spent an ambiguous period with Yunyun in a cave. Yunyun had a slight affection for Xiaoyan, but due to the large age gap between the two and the huge gap in cultivation, she chose to bury this past in her heart and left him to return to Tianlin sect. This cuckold was put on by Koga himself, right? Suhan secretly complained that if Koga's alchemy had not required purple gold spirit crystal as the main material, Yunyun would not have gone to the Demon Dragon Mountains, and naturally would not have developed an ambiguous relationship with Xiaoyan. This time, Suhan accompanied Yunyun to the Magic Dragon Mountains, and naturally he would not allow the original plot to happen. The two masters and apprentices agreed to go to the Demon Dragon Mountains together without making any preparations. Yunyun took Suhan to fly in the air, directly leaving the opening Heaven Land sect and flying towards the Demon Dragon Mountain range. A strong profound king can turn his mysterious energy into wings, mobilize a small amount of energy in the external space, and achieve free flight in the air. A powerful profound sovereign can mobilize a large amount of energy of the same attribute from the outside world, making flying easier and requiring almost no consumption of his own profound energy. After Yunyun left with Suhan, a Tianlin sect disciple hurried to the mountain peak where Dan King Koga was. Elder Gu, the Suhan you asked me to keep an eye on left Tianlin sect today. This Tianlin sect disciple said. Oh, okay. Koga's eyes lit up and he said hello 3 times. Suhan is in the Tianlin sect, and Koga will definitely not be able to take action. But Suhan wanted to die on his own and left the Tianlin sect. Koga used 100 ways to kill him. If you send a great mystic master to attack, you can kill him. Forget it, this guy's combat power is amazing. He may be able to escape from the great mystic master, so let's send out a mysterious spirit. Zan Ling takes action, even if he can turn the world upside down, he will still die. Quote. Koga was planning in his mind that in order to kill Su Han at once, he was frantically preparing to send out powerful Zan Ling warriors to deal with Su Han, a newbie Zan master. I have to say, Koga is really stable. Su Han left the opening Heaven Land sect together with the sect leader. At this time, the Tianlin sect disciple continued. Quote. Koga was silent. After a moment, he burst into rage, waved his sleeves and knocked the Tianlin sect disciple away, and said viciously. Why didn't you say something so important earlier? You didn't even ask. The disciple really wanted to say that, but facing an angry profound king, he didn't dare to say that. Instead, he knelt on the ground and kowtowed to apologize as quickly as possible. Disciple is wrong, please ask Elder Gu to punish me. Roll. Koga said angrily. The disciple rolled around and hurriedly left the hall. Thanks for watching, subscribe and support my channel.